It amazes me how we're fascinated by illusions. Like we could be like most people are fascinated by illusions. When I say fascinated by illusions, it's it's like you're fascinated by the idea of things, but you don't take in consideration of what those things really are. Now, in this video, I want to talk about the whole American dream and talk about what most people spend the most of their life working for and working towards. And that's houses and cars. Most of the time when people get a house or a car, they finance it. And we're fascinated by the illusion or the image of getting a brand new car, getting a new house. Like people automatically see that as uh, a good thing that you've done. They automatically see that as a step up, or they see that as success. But the reality of it is, though, if you're financing a house, that means you got to pay for it 30 years. And if you're paying for it 30 years, you're going to have finance charges, meaning that you're going to pay way more than what the house original price is, because you're going to be paying towards interest for the majority of paying back your loan to the bank. But we look at buying a house as if we're actually buying the house. And you don't even get to own it until 30 years, until it's paid off. But we celebrate that. The same thing with a car. You go get a car off the car lot. If you get it brand new, you put down payment, or if you got good credit, they might let you walk off the car lot. But you're still going to be stuck with that payment until the car is paid for. And when they add up all the finance charges, you end up paying more for the car than what the price is. But we congratulate that. We fall in love with the image of things, but we don't think about what they really are. What sense does it make to be proud of home ownership if you got to pay for it for 30 years? That means you got to be working 30 years. That means you got to have an income coming in the whole while you own that house. If something break, you got to fix it. You got to pay for insurance. You got to pay for taxes. But that's an accomplishment. How? How? Most people that live in their house and they got a mortgage, that's all they living for, to pay bills. To pay bills. Most people that got a car, they making payments on their car, or they leasing their car. All your money goes to that. And when you really think about it, imagine getting to the end of your life, right? And you think about what did you do with all of your life? And you realize that all you did was lease cars, make payments on cars, finance cars, pay rent, or pay a mortgage. And you was never able to really enjoy life, take days off, do what you wanted to do, go after your dreams, because you had these debts that we clap up and congratulate each other about, but it's actually taken away from your life. But this is normal. This is considered normal. This is considered good. This is considered success. Finish school, go to college, get a house, get married, have kids. All of these things are liabilities, things that you got to take care of. Kids, you got to take care of them until they're able to take care of themselves. Your house, you got to pay for it until it's paid off. Your car, you got to pay for it until it's paid off. You got to maintain it. You got to get insurance. You got to fix it when it breaks. Like, all of this stuff costs money. But we congratulate and clap each other up because we create debt for ourselves. We put ourselves in a position to where we're not even able to enjoy life or determine what we do with our own money because your house already spoke for that money. Your car payment already spoke for your money. And most people live check to check. And most people, the more money they make, the more debt they create. And the more debt they create, the more people congratulate, which is weird. I don't know about you, but having a lot of debt is not fun. It's stressful. It causes you to get gray hairs, knowing that you got to make that car payment, knowing that you got to pay that mortgage, knowing that you're the only one, or you and your husband is the only one that's going to pay it. So y'all got to go to work 30 years. Think about it. Do you want to work 30 years the same job? Do you want to not have the choice to take off when you want to, or to do what you want to do with your life? But most of us, or the average person, put themselves in a position to where they're not able to do what they want to do with their life. All of your money goes towards that house. All of your money goes towards that car. And they ain't getting paid off no time soon because the finance charges. You got 30-year mortgage. You got 6-year car payments. 7-year car payments. Your car payments is expensive. Your car insurance is expensive. But you're willing to sacrifice all of that just for an image. Just to say that you got a house. Just to say that you got a new car. So you put yourself in that type of financial burden to where you're not able to make choices. You're not free. You're a slave to your job now because you can't quit it because you got these responsibilities and these debts. And most people don't even try to figure out, how can I not have debt? The average person don't try to figure it out. You just accept the fact that you got a 30-year mortgage, or you got these car payments, so you got to work 2 or 3 jobs, or you got to just work the 30 years just so you can keep that. Just so you can keep that. But then again, there's people in this world, probably some of the 1%ers and the 2%ers and the 3%ers. They understand how money works. In school, they don't teach you how money works. They just teach you how to work. They teach you how to follow the leader, how to get a job, how to compete for the same jobs, how to compete for the same careers. Only so you can work at a job that's only good enough to keep up a small regular lifestyle. Most people that go to college and finish school and graduate, they have regular lifestyles. The only people that don't have regular lifestyles are the ones that turn liabilities into their assets. So instead of working all your life just to get a house and then you feel like you've made it, how about get a house and rent it out? Get multiple houses and rent it out. And make money from those houses for 30 years. Most people don't even know you can own multiple properties. We don't even teach our children that you can own multiple properties, and you can set yourself up in a way where all of your properties and all of your houses pay for your lifestyle. But they don't teach that in school. They teach you that you should graduate high school, go to college, get a house, get a family, get married, have children, raise your children. But that's not life. That's not life. There's another part of the world that's living life different because they look at life different. They don't fall in love with the image. They live off of the sow a seed principle. They know how to plant a seed here, let it grow, so whatever grows off of that tree, they'll be able to eat the fruit and they'll be able to feed their family off those same fruit. But this is not what you learn in school. You don't learn none of this in school. You learn how to be a worker. You're taught how to be in debt. You're taught how to be in competition with other people, because when you go to college or when you go to school, everybody learning the same thing. So if everybody learning the same thing, how am I going to be the best version of myself if we all know the same information? We all take the same classes. We all reading the same book. How am I gonna be a 1%er if I'm just like y'all? If I got the same education as y'all, how am I gonna be better? You're not gonna be better. And most people will never be better. Because you're doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. And you're falling in love with the image. Your parents are proud of you because you went to college. I'm so proud. All of y'all proud of my son because he went to college. Proud of my daughter because they went to college. But are you just putting your children in position just to be in competition with other people that's going after the same thing? Why not be different? Stop falling in love with the image. Because the image is just going to put you in a position where you're just like everybody else. You're just like everybody else. And if you know about life, you should know that nobody's the same. God didn't create us all to have the same, to go after the same things at the same time. We disconnect ourselves from God, and we disconnect ourselves from our true selves when we go and chase after the same things. If everybody's chasing after the same things, that means that everybody gonna have the same thought process. Everybody gonna go after the same jobs. And guess what? It ain't enough of the same jobs out there for everybody to have. Only a selected few gonna get those jobs. And a lot of times when you do get those jobs that you go after, it's not even what you really want to do. Because you realize that working at a job and wanting to be in a career when you're in high school and not actually working in there is two different things. You see the world different when you're out here in the world. It ain't like what you see on TV. It's different. The world is different. And you'll learn that it's not about just getting a house or getting the car that you always wanted. Because once you get it, you realize that it wasn't all that. Now you got a responsibility. The new smell done worn off. Now you just got a responsibility and something you got to pay for. Now you got to go and find you a job. You have to be on a job. It's mandatory that you got to be on a job. So you got no physical control over your body because your job requires your physical attention every single day. So you're not really living. But people might say, you got your good job, you graduated college, you got a house and the kids, but are you really happy? That's what the question is. Are you really happy? And most people are not happy. Because you know what most people do? The more money you make, the more debt you create. So even though you're making more money and you're living in a bigger house, but you got bigger problems. Your job requires more of you, and you can't just walk off your job. Some of you done signed up to be in jobs where you signed you had to do an oath or sign a non-disclosure agreement because your job is just that important. It's that important that they keep you a slave. It's that important that they control what you do outside of your job because they want you to be there and never leave. So they encourage you and congratulate you and clap you up when you get more and more debt. They congratulate you and clap you up when you upgrade your car. Because guess what? You got that new car, you got that new family, you got more debt. That means you cannot quit your job. You cannot leave your job. You cannot go and seek a better opportunity because you can't afford to lose a day. Because you got to keep up with your accomplishments. You got to keep up with your 30-year accomplishments. You got to keep up with your 6-year accomplishments. You got to make sure that you don't miss a payment. Because you don't ever want your lights to be cut off. You don't ever want the repo man to come and repossess your car. You don't ever want those things to happen. So now you got to sacrifice your whole life and sacrifice your soul, your spirit, and your physical body, all because you have to keep that image up. Damn, this dog got hiccups. All because you got to keep you got to keep that image up. You done fell in love with the image. And that image is what they sold us. That image is what they say success is. But it's really not success. It ain't nothing successful about getting 30 years of debt or being required to pay something for 30 years and being and being faced with the possibility of that thing being taken away if you miss your payments. And they don't care how many payments you made towards it. If you miss your payments and your house goes into foreclosure, they're going to take your house. If you don't pay your taxes, they're going to take your house, even if your house is paid for. So this world we live in, you really got to look at it different. And you got to understand that the things that they say is success is really not success. And you got to realize that true freedom comes when you create assets and not have no debt and not have no liabilities, because your debts and your liabilities are what keep you bound. It's what keep you from moving forward. It's what takes away your ability to invest. It takes away your ability to be free. But they don't teach you this in school. They don't teach you this in college. Your parents can't even teach you this, because most parents and most people in the world are a part of the 85% of the world that's just following the patterns of the world, chasing after the same thing, got the same idea concepts. But there's another part, another type of people in this world that understand how money works. They understand how life works. They understand that the people who will always be in power and the people who will always be free and always have money, they are the ones that have their money working for them, not you working for your money. And then you got to take the money that you work for. Now you got to pay your car payment or your mortgage. Like, that's backwards. But we get congratulated and celebrated for being backwards. We're celebrated for being on jobs for 30 years. We're celebrated from being able to retire from a job. We're celebrated for working all of our lives just to pay a mortgage on a house that we're still going to have to end up paying taxes on until the day we die. And if we don't take it, it's a possibility. If we don't pay it, if we don't pay our taxes and don't pay our debts, somebody could still take it. Somebody could still take it, and you lose everything that you worked all your life for. You spent all your time for. You done wasted all your energy for. You miss spending time with your children for. When you could have been thinking different. When you could have been thinking different. Instead of creating debt, how about have some assets? How about not just buy a house to live in, but buy houses to rent out? Multiple houses. So your houses can pay for your lifestyle. Not let your lifestyle be your house. Just because you got a house don't mean you're successful. That don't mean it's a good thing, especially if you got a mortgage on it. You working all your life just to pay your mortgage. How was that successful? Why is they clapping you up for that? Why is they clapping you up because you got a new car, or you leased a new car, or you purchased a whole bunch of money for a car, or you have an expensive car? You get clapped up for that. Thousands of dollars, thousands of hours. You worked and you slaved and you sacrificed and you stressed out just to have a car that's going to just break down one day or get old, or the new smell going to rub off. We living in a backwards world, and we fall in love with the image and we don't realize what it really is. So it's time for us to find out what it really is. And if you really want to find out what it really is, I want you to like, share, and subscribe, because that's what we talk about on this channel. And I'm Double OG, True Seeker, aka Lionheart, and I'm out. Yeah!